Global TV News Prime. Tonight, police arrest human traffickers, rescue 13 victims in Kaduna State. And it desires federal government to spend $600 million yearly on electricity subsidy. And on the first scene, air traffic control staffing not normal during DC crash. And sport news, Ed arrested as Unides fans ambush Vanzia supporters. Hello and welcome to the News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Adikad Michael. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276 and free to air on Nicomsat. Tonight we begin from the House of Representatives as the Committee on Communications is interfacing with the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress to avert the nationwide protest scheduled for February 4th, 2025 over the 50% hike in telecom tariff. The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) recently approved a 50% tariff increase for telecommunication companies, citing prevailing operational costs. Following this development, NLC vowed to embark on a nationwide protest, calling on the federal government and the National Assembly to revert to the old tariff in the interim. Governor Lea of Benue State has charged the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria to join active politics in order to bring about the much-needed change in governance. The governor made the call when he played host to the North Central Zone of the association in an interactive meeting. Our correspondent Felicity Ndere has more details.
With the association, at the instance of Governor Hyacinth Alia, is to share ideas with the body of Christ on how best to influence governance and bring about the desired change for the overall good of society. The governor told the Christian community to be preachers of peace and unity, advocates of human capital development, who must insist on what is right in the sight of God. He maintained that all these can only be achieved when people with the fear of God participate actively in politics of the nation to ensure good governance.
What benefit would it be when you just stand on the side complaining, and every government and regime that comes in, you complain, then you drink water and settle and then keep complaining? Are you fulfilled? You cannot be fulfilled. Be a player. Be a player. There's so much you can do. When you understand the word, it even places you on a better platform for you to bring social change.
The leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the North Central region stated that they are committed to representing the church as ambassadors of not only the spiritual realm, but also for societal development. While appreciating the numerous achievements of the governor within his short time in office, the leaders of CAN encouraged him to remain focused and hold firm his vision for the state, assuring the governor of all-round support.
The challenges facing our religion today, whether in governance, security, education, economic development, or religious harmony, requires a unified approach. No single individual, institution, or government can address them alone. Progress is only sustainable when public leaders, religious organizations, civil society, and private sector work together in synergy.
Prayers were offered for the governor as well as goodwill messages from CAN leadership across the state in the North Central and the Federal Capital Territory. In Makudi, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News.
President Nigerian Bar Association Afam Ozigwe has commended President Bola Tinubu for signing the Nigerian Maritime University Bill into law. Ozigwe said the university, when fully operational, would not only create jobs for the Niger Delta people, but also possibly led to the end of vegetation in the region. In a statement, his personally signed described the initiative as historic several years after the idea of the university was mooted as one of the possible solutions to the agitation in the Niger Delta region. The Nigeria Governors Forum has congratulated Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doyo Diri on his election as chairman of the South-South Governors Forum. In a statement by the spokesman Daniel Alabra confirmed that the governor was elected during a meeting of the South-South Governors held at the Government House, Yenagoa. In a congratulatory signed by its chairman and Governor of Kwara State, Abdullah Ram, from the forum described Diri's election as a recognition of his leadership, dedication to governance, and commitment to the progress of the South-South region. Meanwhile, the president of National Association of Nigerian Travel Agencies, Yinka Fulami, has expressed concern over the recent near-crash incidents in the aviation industry. He urged stakeholders, particularly the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, to come together and address all safety concerns for the sake of the traveling public. Yinka, in a statement, noted that the safety of the operational ecosystem must be prioritized for the sake of the traveling passengers. The Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau has released a preliminary report on its ongoing investigation into the crash landing of an Allied Air Boeing 737-400 freighter at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, which took place on December 11, 2024. The Bureau stated that the plane was scheduled to collect cargo from the Central Bank of Nigeria. However, a more detailed report stated that the aircraft en route to collect cargo for the Central Bank of Nigeria experienced a malfunction with its flaps during the final approach. Now, the Nigeria Police says it will go ahead with the enforcement of the third-party insurance laws starting February 1st. Spokesman of the police, SP Moyowa Dejobi, who made the disclosure, hinted that in line with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Igbetogun, the Nigeria Police Force once again reiterates the enforcement of the mandatory third-party insurance, which will commence on February 1st, 2025. He said the initiative aims to reinforce road safety measures and ensure that all vehicle owners comply with the stipulated insurance requirements to protect themselves and others on the road. The Defense Headquarters has commenced the construction of the Invectors Center for the Armed Forces of Nigeria, a state-of-the-art rehabilitation facility designed to provide medical and psychological care for wounded, injured, and sick military personnel. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony in Abuja, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, described the project as a significant step in ensuring the well-being of military personnel who has sustained physical and psychological wounds in line of duty. Imo State Ministry of Digital Economy and E-Government says it is poised to drive innovation, skills development and digital transformation in 2025. Following Governor Hope Uzodimma's recent visit to the ministry's facilities, stakeholders are optimistic of the new initiative that will empower citizens and strengthen the state's digital economy. Our correspondent Amar Chibe reports from Owerri.
In an interview with Chimezi Amadi, the Commissioner for Digital Economy and E-Government, he highlighted the ministry's strategic plans for 2025, including expanding digital skills training under the Skill Up Imo project, fostering tech-driven entrepreneurship, and enhancing e-governance solutions to improve public service delivery.
His Excellency has just announced the evolving partnership between the Imo State government and the Silicon Valley in California to build the Imo State Digital City. This is also evolving and will happen pretty soon. And when that happens, Imo State will automatically become the regional and the national innovation hub and the digital skills capital of Nigeria, which is part of our dream and our pursuit.
Amadi stated that the ministry also plans to strengthen partnerships with tech firms and academic institutions to build a digitally savvy workforce. Experts believe these initiatives will position Imo State as a leading digital hub in Nigeria.
Use 2022 to 2023 and even 2024, also 2025, to build a strong digital empowered citizens and also industry-ready digital workforce. These industry-ready digital workforce will be effectively deployed both in the private sector, public sector, and also the informal sector.
With a clear roadmap for innovation and empowerment, the Imo State Ministry of Digital Economy says it is set to make 2025 a transformative year as the state harnesses technology for growth. The vision of a digitally inclusive and economically vibrant Imo State becomes even more attainable. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Operatives of the Kaduna State Police Command has intercepted a vehicle transporting 13 victims of human trafficking to your state and arrested the 3 suspects. The Forces Public Relations Officer ASP Olumiyawa disclosed this in a statement. Let it be noted that in a separate incident on January 29th, the Ogun State Police Command conducted a covert operation locating a kidnappers, then following reported abduction on January 25th. Watching the live broadcast of News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital here in Abuja. When News Prime returns, Serap demands Tinubu probe 26 billion naira oil sector scandal. We shall bring you those details as well as foreign and sports stories right after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us on On to Business News tonight. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has given President Bola Tinubu a 7-day ultimatum to address the alleged corruption in the oil sector. The group is urging him to direct the Attorney General Lateef Fayomi and anti-corruption agencies to investigate the disappearance of over 26 billion naira. In 2021, the funds were reportedly missing, diverted, or stolen from the Petroleum Technology Development Fund and the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources. The World Bank show agro-climatic resilience in the semi-arid landscape, and the National State Government have signed a 10 billion naira deal with the Bautas Global ICCO and Get Engineering to fight against soil erosion in Lafia, Doma, and total local government areas of the state. The agency in National State, Dr. Napoleon Elias, revealed this after signing of the agreement in Lafia, the state's capital, adding that the contract was aimed at tackling climate change. Dr. Elias said the contract agreement was signed with the 2 private companies to address the stormwater management sites and other environmental challenges in Total, Doma, and Lafia local government areas. The Federal Housing Authority has given estate developers in Lube, Karu, and Kubwa areas of the Federal Capital Territory a 3-month deadline to regularize their construction approvals. The authority further stated that all ongoing development in these areas until the required documentation is provided remain suspended. The Federal Housing Authority statement also noted that developers are required to present the key documents, including letters of allocation, approved building plans, payment receipt, and other proof of ownership, such as consent letters for those who have transferred property ownership. The federal government has announced plans to introduce an annual electricity subsidy of $600 million for all customers from the 2025 as part of efforts to reform the power sector. The subsidy expected to last until 2027 aims to bridge the gap between the cost-reflective tariffs and regulated electricity rate, while the government works towards eliminating the metering deficit and enhancing the financial sustainability of power distribution companies. Nigeria's Energy Compact document stated that the initiative is part of the National Energy Compact and aligns with Nigeria's broader electrification and clean energy transition plans. The Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria has urged marketers to reduce the price of premium motor spirit, Aker Petrol, following the reduction in the ex-depot price of the product from 950 naira to 890 naira per litre by Dangote Refinery. Dangote Refinery announced a reduction in the ex-depot price on the statement, where it says the price cut was influenced by the recent decline in the global crude oil prices and a positive outlook in the international energy market. And on the foreign scene, authorities in Sydney are investigating whether explosives discovered in a caravan were intended for an asthmatic attack. Police said the explosive could have caused a 40-meter wide blast and significant damage, noting that the threat was contained. Investigators stated that the note was found in the caravan that displayed asthmatic messages. United States President Donald Trump says he ordered military airstrikes on a senior attack planner and others from the Islamic State group in Somalia. In a post on X, the office of the President of Somalia said they had been informed of the U.S. strike targeting senior highest leadership in the northern part of the country. Trump, however, did not name any of the people targeted in strikes. Air traffic control staffing was not normal at the time of the mid-air collision between a military helicopter and a passenger plane in Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people. Transportation Secretary Sindofi has acknowledged. U.S. media reported that according to a government report, Reagan National Airport Tower was understaffed during Wednesday's crash. An air traffic control worker was managing helicopters and some planes from the airport, a job normally done by 2 people, and 2 sources says. In other sport news, former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya suffered a second career knockout loss on Saturday night, falling to the Imavov second round in the main event of the UFC fight night of the 250 in Saudi Arabia. Now the Nigerian kill fighter who entered the bout on the 2-fight losing streak following the defeat to Sin Strickland and Dricos started well with a series of head-low kicks. Udinese fans ambush a train carrying the Venezia supporters after their Serie A match on Saturday, triggering a mass brawl that left several people injured and led to 8 arrests. Italian police says early on Sunday, around 50 Italian and Australian Udinese supporters, many covering their faces and wielding flags and smoke bombs, occupied the tracks near the northeastern city of Udine, where the home side had won 3-2. And they forced the train carrying the Venezia supporters to stop, at which point several dozen fans on board descended onto the platform, sparking what police described as a massive brawl. And now to wrap up the news prime, let's take a look at the top stories. The federal government has announced plans to introduce an annual electricity subsidy of $600 million for all customers from the 2025 as part of efforts to reform the power sector. An air traffic control staffing was not normal at the time of the mid-air collision between a military helicopter and a passenger plane in Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people, Transportation Secretary Duffy acknowledged on the foreign scene. On the sport, the Udinese fans ambushed a train carrying the Venezia supporters after the Serie A match on Saturday, triggering a mass brawl that left several people injured and led to 8 arrests, Italian police says on Sunday. And as a package on News Prime, a quick reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276, free to air on Nicomsat. You can follow us on our social media platform at Global TV NG. On behalf of the entire production team, we say thank you for joining us on News Prime. My name is Edikat Michael. See you again.